Have you ever jacked in? Have you ever wire-tripped? No? A virgin brain. Well, we're gonna start you off right. This isn't like TV, only better. This is life. Yeah, it's a piece of somebody's life. Pure and uncut. Straight from the cerebral cortex.
A couple of men are getting ready to rob a restaurant. One of them is filming the whole ordeal, starting when they get ready in the car. They haven't put their masks on yet, but are about to do so. They arrive, they get into the restaurant, they get all the workers into a room, but quickly the police shows up and the gunfight ensues. Some of the robbers are getting shot immediately, while the guy who is filming and one of his partners are running up to the rooftop. The partner jumps to the next roof, and the guy filming tries to take the jump as well, but he doesn't quite make it, holding on to the rooftop. Then he falls. Lenny, the main character of the story, rips off the gadget he had on his head and shouts, "No snuff." That's what I said. Well, these are truly strange days we live in. And seeing some of these older dystopian sci-fi films is kind of interesting to see now, especially if we have already passed the point that is depicted in those movies. It's also interesting to see what has now happened in real life and what is going to happen, and compare it to this dystopian vision that feels all too real in some parts. Strange Days is a dystopian vision of the future, back then made in 1995 and showing the then not so distant future of 1999. A film noir sci-fi film about Lenny, a former LAPD officer who is now dealing with mini-discs that are captured and watched with a gadget that is put on your head. These mini-discs don't only show what was filmed, but let you also feel what happened. Lenny has specialized in selling these videos that are basically memories, and also doesn't shy away from more taboo topics in those memories. While despising violence in memories, like we can see in the beginning of the film, he still offers some sexual content or wish fulfilling in some way, sometimes in a more decent way. Like when he is giving his wheelchair-bound friend a memory of someone walking on a beach, to make him feel how it is to walk again and feel the sand under your feet. But those memories are not just for his customers, they are also for him. You see, he is still in love with his ex-girlfriend, who is now with a music producer who himself is basically addicted to wiring, which is the process of watching and feeling of memories. But let's set up things first. It's December the 30th of 1999. Lenny just came back from buying some new mini-discs and now is getting to his go-to bar with a customer. But someone points a gun to his head and threatens him, making the customer run off. The crazy guy pointing the gun is his best friend Max, played by Tom Sizemore in a bad wig. But some more trouble is coming. Iris, a friend of his, tells him he should look into his car and that his ex-girlfriend Faith is in trouble. But the car is soon after being pulled away. He is now in need of some transportation. Fortunately, he knows a driver, Mace, who is so nice to help him out, until he abuses her trust and gets some business going on with one of her customers, in the limousine that she is driving. Eventually he watches one of the mini-discs that was given to him by a contact from an anonymous source, and the content is more than disturbing. His friend Iris is being stalked, raped and killed on mini-disc, and the killer is also using the technology to make her feel what he feels. A sick serial killer is on the loose, but there's more going on. As it will turn out, Lenny, his ex-girlfriend and the famous rapper Steph are all eventually forming the plot of the movie. Iris was on the run from two psychotic cops who tried to kill her and might have some more people behind them, hinting at a bigger conspiracy. The dead rapper was also a symbol for the fight against racism and police brutality, and was now found dead, seemingly shot in a mysterious incident. This has caused city-wide riots that are getting increasingly more extreme and violent, turning the city more and more into a war zone. Lenny finds himself in this at first confusing and violent story that he is not able to piece together, it seems. A case he is unable to solve. Why? Well, because he is a loser. Lenny is no superhero, he is down on his luck, he has almost no money, he wears fake Rolex watches to bribe people when he finds himself in bad situations, which never works. He He has no cash or very little cash with him. He tries to trick people in a lovable scam kind of way and also fails with that most of the time. He doesn't carry a gun even though he is in dangerous situations all the time, and a criminal, getting himself in a lot of confrontations. He is a disgraced cop, his friends are mostly shady criminal figures, his ex hates him, and the only person that actually kind of likes him is extremely frustrated with him, for good reason as we will learn. Wherever he goes he usually finds someone who wants to punch him, but that's not all. Like a lot of losers, he is absolutely imprisoned in his old memories. And for him it's even worse, as he is literally able to relive his memories, especially those that he had with his ex, which he can't let go. Yeah, Lenny is a loser, but that's also what makes him likable. He is not a superhero, he is someone with flaws that people can relate to, even though it's a bit extreme for him, but that's what makes an interesting story, right? Seeing someone with faults that we can kind of relate to, but that are even worse for him, and a real burden for him in the story that is told. There's a really good line by Maze when she tells him that memories are supposed to fade, implying heavily that he should finally let go of the past and live in the present. And as much as I like that line, I have to say there were others that really kind of fall flat. Some lines could have been really better. Not sure if it's the directing, but as most of the movie works and the director is Catherine Bigelow, I guess that these lines were written by James Cameron, who came up with the story and was a co-writer. But overall this feels more like something that was influenced by Eric Red, who is more well known for his dark and disturbing stories, like The Hitcher and Near Dark, which was also directed by Bigelow. Well, maybe it's her influence then, that gives everything a bit of a darker tone. The story involves really dark topics like rape, police brutality, racism, poverty, civil unrest and bad wigs. And except for the wigs, these topics are tackled pretty well. We can really dive into this world. The POV videos of crimes and other memories are very well done, and as goofy as the idea of living through memories on discs might sound for some, I have to say for me it worked rather well. The whole film noir in the sci-fi movie setting also works very well. Like a classic film noir story, it involves little pieces that doesn't seem that important until they form a full and complex story of deception, shady characters and a loser who has to man up and try to save the day or whatever is left of the day that can be saved. The film also looks very good. The movie is quite grounded and feels quite realistic. If the mini-disc elements would be removed, it would basically just have been a contemporary thriller in the 90s. They could have used simple videos instead, I guess, and make it a non-sci-fi thriller. There is well done action from time to time and the whole city just feels real. You can also get a good feeling of the city being a powder keg that is about to blow up. You can feel how the situation escalates more and more. The cast is also quite good. We have Ralph Fiennes as the main character Lenny, Tom Sizemore, who is a staple in Bigelow films, as Lenny's best friend Max, Angela Bassett as Maze, Juliette Lewis as Lenny's ex, Faith, Vincent D'Onofrio and William Fichtner as the crazy cops, with Fichtner being awkwardly silent throughout most of the movie. But to be fair, he was at the start of his career. Glenn Plummer plays the rapper Jericho 1 here, and Michael Wincott is a music producer called Philo. It's overall a well-written story that might not be the most clever story, but at the very least a cleverly constructed crime story. And even though some lines don't work 100%, I would say that the movie delivers more of an emotional punch through the relationships and characters introduced and established in the story, and of course the memories on minidisc. Of course the ending is maybe a little bit too sweet and especially the last scene a bit too happy, but after everything that the main characters have gone through, they kind of earned it, I would say. It's also one of the few movies set on New Year's Eve. At least it's one of the few that comes to mind for me. Sure, there are a bunch of rom-coms, but I guess that's it. And I would rather take Strange Days over Holiday or New Year's Eve, to be honest. And Strange Days gets a 9 out of 10.
Why, sooner or later it washes up on your beach.
Fan mail from some flounder?
The dark end of the street. How do you like it now?
You record it all.
everything.
And gives it to you.
Why me?
There's more to this whole thing than you think.
Give us the tape right now!
You don't know how high up the food chain this thing goes.
Do you know what this tape could do if it got out? I see the world opening up and swallowing us all.
This is conspiracy paranoia.
The issue isn't whether you're paranoid, Lenin. The issue is whether you're paranoid enough.